people ask, why do historically black Greek letter fraternities and sororities use Greek letters? Well, it's just the tale of the time. This is what scholars was learning at this time in history. And in fact, you and I use Greek words and terminology every day. You have to understand that the classics formed Western societies. Coming from Eastern societies, the classics formed the foundation for Western societies here. So when we look at some of the words, it's auto, meaning self, like automatic. It's bio, meaning life, like biology. It's geo, meaning earth, like geography. It's graph and gram, meaning write, as in things that is written. It's hyder, like water, like hydrant. It's logos and logi, like word or study. It's micro, like small, like microscope. It's phone, which is the sound of your voice, like the telephone. It's photo and phos, like light and photograph and phosphorus. Like, this is what education can do for you. It can enhance your understanding of the world. This is what education is for. And more importantly, it protects culture. It protects culture and community. Learning more to do more protects culture and community. Now think about it. If you get a community to believe that education is evil or demonic, then you can get a community to throw stones at the organizations that are working and advocating for their benefits. Think about it. Let's remember that 54% of US adults read at a 6th grade level. So currently, a lot of our own nation is not understanding what they read. It's not understanding what information is being conveyed to them. The ability to make an inference is being lost. And unfortunately, at the very same time, our history, the Black community's history, is being altered, changed, and erased. You just have to remember that the culture is so vast. Our community is so vast. Yes, you are going to have Jack and Jill kids and Boys and Girls Club kids, and there's nothing wrong with either of them. There's nothing wrong with either of them. I think we have to be careful not to let differences distract and divide us. If at the very least, if you don't like something, or if you find yourself disagree, just observe to see what it is, and then see why you don't like it and who you are, and then take all that energy, all that thought, and go put it into being a better you. Go put it into being a better you. Because now our culture has gotten to the point where we're throwing stones and tearing down our own organizations. Everything is a demonic. Everything is a plan, an industry plan. Everything is these negative things because it's got attention, because it's doing numbers, because it's making an impact. No. If you disagree with the organization, if you disagree with our legacy organizations, go outwork them in a new organization. Sometimes the opinions that we have that are contrarian and negative, although our intentions may not be that, but our opinion and our thoughts are that. Sometimes those thoughts are callings for new beginnings. Malcolm said, education is the passport to the future. For tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. El-Hajj Malik al-Shabazz said that. So you have these Black scholars living in this time period, this tumultuous time, learning, being educated, and they're still doing what we do. We do culture. It's our expression of life. The good times, the bad times, this is what we do. I believe it's just like what Toni Morrison said when she said, "This is precisely the time when artists go to work. There is no time for despair. There is no place for self-pity. There is no need for silence, no room for fear. We speak, we write, we do language. This is how civilizations heal." Really take time to look at each organization's founders. They're the first ever this, the most that. They defied racial barriers. They defied economic barriers. They were geniuses, literal geniuses being taken all over the world. These are people, these are architects of not only just Black culture, but the world that we live in today, their contributions. And I just can't help but to think that it's beneficial to denigrate that legacy. It's beneficial to those who do not want certain people to progress economically. They don't want people to progress in this nation. I just think it's beneficial to those who do not want certain communities to progress. I just think denigrating that legacy, denigrating that history is beneficial to those who do not want certain communities, our community, to progress. So to first understand the MPHC is to understand that these were Black scholars who came together in unity with a common goal. There are 9 organizations with 9 missions, different principles, and they all come down to uplifting our community. I know our culture is growing. I know we're making generational changes and we're breaking generational curses and we're getting rid of generational detriments. But this is one of those things where we have to be rooted in history. I do believe we do have to look back so we can learn from our past. And that's the principle of Sankofa. Once again, I talked about that in other conversations. So the principle of Sankofa is reaching back to the past to prepare yourself for your future. And that is so important, I think, in this particular conversation, because we have to remember that our predecessors fought for this privilege. Like, they actually gave their well-being and their health and their lives for us to be as privileged as we are, for us to have our systems, for us to have our HBCUs, for us to have our legacy organizations, for us to have our organizations that have always done the work in our community. They fought for the privilege for you to disagree and go do your own thing and start your own organization and have the infrastructure and the range and the atmosphere to outwork each other. That is what they fought for. And then we also have to remember that if there's a detriment or a deficit in other places, collaboration is key, and you might be the one that helped. If you're not good at finance and a business is not really doing great at finance, maybe you're the one that needs to go and help them, so on and so forth. When it comes to our cultural artifacts and our cultural features, the things that we may covet or dwell in, let's not conflate them just because somebody made a mistake or misused them. Black excellence is and always will be definitively Black people being great and excelling at all levels. It doesn't matter if some people only offer the term Black excellence to the Forbes list or offer the Black excellence term to high society or whatever. We are the ones that make it so. So if they do that, you can uplift somebody that's not on the Forbes list. You can uplift somebody that's not in high society. You can uplift the everyday person that is excellent in something. Because we're of quality. We're of merit. No matter what rhetorics may say, our culture is of merit.